We are following some major breaking news this morning out of the Supreme Court. In a 5-4 decision, they have ruled against the Trump administration's rescission of the DACA program. Of course, that program was for Dreamers instituted under the Obama administration for children who were brought here undocumented, were allowed to apply and have protection under the law. And the Trump administration tried to rescind that. Court challenge. Major loss for the Trump administration. The opinion was written by John Roberts, Chief Justice. 5-4 decision. He sided with the liberals on this one, and that's where things stand.
Can't make this one up. So literally, Justice Roberts writing the opinion for the majority of the court, saying that we do not decide whether DACA or its rescission are sound policies. The wisdom of the decision is none of our concern, ruling that the rescission of the program was capricious. And so this is the same exact thing, if you'll all remember, from the question over the census, whenever they wanted to ask on the census whether recipients were American citizens or not. It's perfectly legal to do so under something called the Administrative Procedures Act. However, you have to publish a memo, you have to solicit consent,
you have to have a good reason for it.
And the reason why, this is important to understand, is the APA Act is basically you can change the law without Congress. And so by investing the administrative branch with that responsibility, they say then you have to act within the public interest. You have to publish a rule, solicit public feedback, all of that. The administration was perfectly within its rights to do so. The only reason that this happened is because they did not publish a memo at the time. They just abruptly decided to rescind DACA. They say Jeff Sessions, by the way, was also the one who did it because Trump and the White House decided that they didn't want to take the blame for it. It was a haphazard process. That haphazardness now, 3 years later, results in a dramatic loss at the Supreme Court. This is literally all because they were so incompetent, they could not publish a 2-page memo justifying why they wanted to do so under the law, and now it's over.
Yeah.
And it's just, look, I am outraged that this happened because I think it was the only opportunity to actually bargain and change immigration law for 100 years, and now that opportunity is over. I have no faith that the administration will do this whatsoever competently.
Look, the American people overwhelmingly support Dreamers. It's always had very broad support across the public. I think this is the right decision. I think it's both from a policy perspective, I think it is right, and then also on the grounds that they're offering here. The administration screwed up,
well,
and that's
right,
what they say.
Congress can pass it, but they're not going to because they don't want to touch it.
And so they held that the decision was arbitrary and capricious, basically just like what you're saying. They were incompetent. They didn't do it right. They screwed it up. And that gave Roberts grounds to join with the liberals in overturning this rescission. Now, one warning here for liberals and progressives like myself who support this decision, it is very narrow. Right. So this is not a ruling about DACA itself. It was very narrow, as you said, just on they went about this the wrong way.
They could still do
procedural.
it. They could still do it the way that I'm talking about. They're not going to because they have no. They are cowards, but they're not going to do it.
Well, and it's very late in the game at this point as well.
It's
probably a lose to Joe Biden. So that's where we are. But, coming on the heels of that big decision on LGBTQ discrimination, which was written by Gorsuch, who was put in, by Mitch McConnell and by Donald Trump, who was a big reason why a lot of evangelicals backed Donald Trump, even though they had concerns about him as a person and where he actually stood on the issues that were important to him. So coming on the heels of this decision, major blow to conservatives from a court that they really felt was totally on their side at this point.
Yeah, but don't worry. There's a new pipeline that's going to run through the Appalachian Trail, so we're all good. Big business.
On the business side, don't worry. The court will always stand with big business, so no worries there.
You can tell I'm pretty pissed. There we go.
And you can tell I'm pretty happy. All right, tomorrow on Rising, Jacobin editor-at-large David Sirota is going to join us.
And Lisa Bryant, she's the director of a new Netflix series about Jeffrey Epstein. She shares how he got so much power, how he got so powerful, and who his enablers were. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video, along with liking and sharing in order to help others find us.
Have a great day, everybody.